right, well, welcome back to SaaS Connect Online. I'm excited for this session today. I'm Sue Fernand, your host, and I am a board member of the Cloud Software Association, and I'm also Director of Alliances at 8x8. And we've got an exciting guest today. We've got Jimmy Riordan, who is a partner manager at Google on the Chrome Enterprise team. And he's going to be talking about how he's building out a brand new ecosystem of partners for Chrome Enterprise recommended for communications and contact center pillars. So it's a pretty exciting new thing that the Chrome Enterprise team is doing. So wanted to get him on here to tell us all about it. And just a reminder, we do want to get to your questions throughout the talk. So please feel free to fire those away in the Q&A section below. And if for some reason we don't get to all of them, we'll make sure that we answer them separately. And for those of you that are new to the Cloud Software Association, I encourage you to join us at cloudsoftwareassociation.com. And be a part of the Slack channel. It's a really great interactive group. And don't forget to register for our upcoming SaaS Connect event out in San Francisco. The conference is April 27th. It is in person. We're super excited to be back to the in-person event. So would love to see a lot of these faces out in San Francisco in April. So without wasting any more time, I want to welcome Jimmy and let him do a little bit of an intro. So the floor is yours, Jimmy.
Awesome. Thanks, Sue. Always excited to see you again and talk to you, especially when it's about contact center, right? So
exactly.
My name's Jimmy Riordan. I've been with Google for a whole 4 months now. Feels like it's been 2 years, just with everything that our team's been doing and just the activity that we've got going on. Great group that we have on the Chrome OS team. So it's been a whirlwind of 4 months, but I've been in cloud communications for about 14 years. Was at a smaller boutique startup, unified communications contact center startup in New York for about 8 years. BroadSoft reseller. Then I went over to Vonage, where I held a few different positions in sales management and mid-market enterprise sales. Specifically focusing in contact center as a service, working with our partner ecosystem over there, and was brought on to join the Google team back in October. So I'm excited to be evangelizing what we're doing on the Chrome OS team.
Awesome. Can you talk a little bit about what the Chrome Enterprise Recommended Program is? I know it's something newer to that team, and why
Sure.
is that an initiative for the Chrome Enterprise team?
Sure. So Chrome Enterprise Recommended is different companies and solutions that have been optimized and certified on Chrome OS. This is a partner ecosystem of different applications and business solutions that are leveraged optimally on Chrome OS. And we took a focus on contact center last year because we've seen a large adoption of Chrome OS, Chromebooks, Chromeboxes in the mid-market enterprise business space when it's a contact center use case. So we went out and we partnered with 7 of the different top CCaaS providers out there: Vonage, RingCentral, 8x8, Cisco, Edify, Five9, and Genesys. And we've optimized their solutions to work on Chrome OS, and we're doing different go-to-market strategies with them to really make the Chromebook or Chromebox or some type of Chrome device the device of preference for contact center agents, supervisors, and admins. And on top of that, actually just announced today, NICE CX1 is now a Chrome Enterprise Recommended partner as well. So excited to have them on board.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. And I know that this is something new, right? I know Google's done stuff in the past around like contact center AI, but focusing on contact center partners and providers is certainly different. I think it's really interesting. And what are the benefits of using Chrome? You've mentioned that you're seeing a lot of Chromebook usage in contact centers. Why are we seeing that? What are really the benefits of using Chromebooks for contact center agents?
Sure. So, I mean, the first thing is identifying the problems, right? So Chrome OS, Chrome Enterprise has really done very well in the EDU space. Chrome for education, mid-market high schools, colleges, universities have really adopted, Chromebooks and Chrome OS in that space. And, now we're taking that, kind of mentality of, the benefits of it and putting it into the mid-market and to the enterprise. And our biggest focuses this year are contact center kiosk and digital signage. And so, we're investing a ton in contact center because we see a lot of challenges and trends for these mid-market enterprise contact centers. These increased threats like ransomware, phishing, employee errors, people that are working remotely or in a hybrid environment. You can't really lock them down as much when it comes to cybersecurity if they're working off their own device at home, off their home internet. Agents struggling with moving to the cloud, but with legacy kind of endpoints and that aren't agile enough to adapt to this new hybrid or remote normal that we have. So we're also seeing these business solutions and processes increasing by 24 times to the cloud. Everybody's moving to the cloud since COVID, and Chrome OS is a cloud-based operating system, so it's built cloud first to ready to deploy these cloud-based solutions. And 77% of service organizations are adopting that accelerated remote option, the remote workforce. So these customer service and support agents are working from home or doing a hybrid type of model where they're working from home a few days a week and then going into the office. So we've identified these challenges, and then the benefits of Chrome OS. I think it's 3 words. It's speed, simplicity, security. So speed. It's very easy to deploy these devices. It's 76% faster deployment of Chrome OS. It's 76% faster than Windows 10. You can use zero-touch enrollment for these devices, so they never even have to go to the IT manager or to the director of IT. They can do all the different rules and permissions remotely via the Google admin console. Simplicity for the agents. The majority of these contact center agents, right? They're leveraging Chrome browser today. 8x8's contact center solution, Vonage's contact center solution. They're all basically soft phone plugins inside the browser where you're using your Salesforce or your ServiceNow. So most of the agents are used to using the Chrome browser. So it's just taking that functionality and moving it to the entire operating system. When it comes to the agent productivity and the simplicity of it, we've seen just on some of the different research we've done about agents are saving up 3 hours per week on employee downtime because updates are happening in the background all the time. There's no need to click on the button to update, and then it says, all right, well, it's going to take an hour to for your system to update. It all just happens in the background. And then, obviously saving uptime is, security related. Something that I never realized and something that's super it's fascinating. Chrome OS as of today has had 0 ransomware attacks ever. 0.
Wow.
So, I mean,
That's huge.
Yeah, 0 reported ransomware attacks on Chrome OS. And there's a lot of different stuff that goes with it, the secure browsing, safe browsing in, the Chrome browser, all the different, security features that are included with it. Something that I also didn't know that I'm blown away by is, did you know that every Chromebook has 2 operating systems?
I learned that just because of the being involved
All
with
the trainings
that is
all
super interesting.
Yeah, all the trainings. So it's something called verified boot. So when your device is booting up, there's 2 operating systems. There's the active OS, and then there's the known safe version. The known safe version is the operating system that came with the Chromebook, that's completely bug free. So when your device is booting up, and then the active OS is the one that you're using, on a daily basis with all your different apps and your tabs and everything like that. So with verified boot, when your device is booting up and you're logging in, the system will take a check, and if there's any type of bugs or something that's corrupted within the OS, it'll completely delete that operating system and then push the known safe version as the new OS for your device, and then make a copy of that as the new known safe version. So there's a ton of security with it, and that's why we had 0 ransomware attacks ever. So I would say the benefits of Chrome OS for the contact center: speed, simplicity, and security.
Nice. That's awesome. So I know, obviously a lot of people that are joining the session are really going to want to know, what kind of partners are you looking at for taking this to market? Because I know this is a fairly new approach for Google, right? So what are the types of partners you're kind of working with or looking for?
Sure. Yeah. So the first piece of it is we've had our traditional channel. So Chromebooks, Chrome OS, we sell it 100% through our channel ecosystem. So not the typical telecom channel, but the other channels like OEMs, our national sales partners, value-added resellers, distributors. So the telecom channel, this technology consulting channel, is very new for Google. So we're focusing on working with two of formerly known as master agencies, now I guess technology solutions brokers, or TSBs as we call it. We're focused on two TSBs, and it's not, I guess, 100% announced yet, but I can put it out there today in this podcast or this webinar. We're working with Intelisys and TBI as the two TSBs that we're going to market with for Chrome OS. So these downstream channel partners of Intelisys and TBI will be incentivized to sell Chromebooks. They'll be enabled to sell Chromebooks, Chromeboxes in their contact center deals, their contact center sales. So as far as the downstream channel partners, agents that we're trying to work with today, they're really CCaaS focused. UCaaS, Chrome still works really well with UCaaS and unified communications, but we really see the focus on contact center and the benefits when it comes to the contact center piece of it. So we're working on really those agencies and consultants and channel partners that are focused on contact center, 500 employee companies and up, to thousands. We've had a lot of success in the enterprise when it comes to the contact center. So I think those are the folks that we're trying to work with. We're going to keep it to Intelisys and TBI for the time being for the first half of the year. Those are going to be our exclusive go-to-market, channel partners, and then potentially bring on another couple towards the end of the year.
Interesting. So I know that's obviously a completely new, avenue for Google. So, how was that received how was the reasoning, how did you get to that point where you decided, let's do this, let's go to market and let's focus on the telecom channel?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, we like I said, we've had those other channels before, but the telecom channel, when I just as a seller myself, when I was at Vonage, I would say 9 times out of the deals I was working on were all through the channel. Wasn't BDR or marketing sourced or self-sourced with me making cold calls and LinkedIn messages and stuff like that. It was 9 times out of 10 it was through the telecom channel, and we're seeing that this channel of partners is really the trusted advisor to a lot of these mid-market and enterprise businesses. They still, work with a CDW or an SHI or an Insight or those Google VARs like Asada or Onyx. And then you have your disties like TD Synex and Ingram Micro. But these telecom channel partners are really the trusted advisors that are presenting contact center solutions, doing the research, comparing, doing the quoting, all that stuff for these customers. So we got to get in front of them. So when I was brought on, that was the focus day one, is tapping into this channel and enabling them and educating them on why Chrome OS. And so when we decided, initially I thought, let's just go directly to the agencies, the channel partners, and they're the ones that are primarily out in the field in front of customers, working the deals, closing them. But then I realized it's not scalable. We need to work with these larger technology solutions brokers, get them on board, show them the reason why they should get their channel of partners excited about Chrome OS, the benefits of it to these different organizations, Intelisys and TBI, because then from there we have access to all their channel partners, and it's also much more scalable because we're only dealing when it comes to financial incentives and marketing development funds and stuff like that. We're only doing with 2 businesses versus thousands of channel partners or agents.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think it fits really nicely in line with the evolution we're kind of seeing in the telecom channel, right? Like the names are changing. We're not talking about master agents and sub agents anymore. It's all around, trusted advisors who are consulting with companies, right? And things, this type of a newer high tech angle, I think is super interesting. So how are the partners? So
Yeah.
you're working with TBI, you're working with Intelisys. So how are they, how are they planning on going to market with this?
Yeah. So the biggest struggle that I've had first was explaining this channel ecosystem to Google,
Yeah, I
right?
remember being at Channel Partners with you and they were like, wow.
Yeah, my boss and my head of pre-sales, customer and partner engineering were there, kind of just guerrilla marketing for Chrome OS and just showing them what this ecosystem's like. So first it was explaining to Google why the telecom channel is important and how it works, because it took me 14 years to get to this level of knowledge that I have now, and I've been doing a lot of presenting internally. So get them on board and understand, and then on the flip side, educate these two master agencies, technology solution brokers, on what Chrome OS is, why they should care about it, and the benefits of it for their downstream channel partners. So over the past few months, been doing a lot of that with Intelisys and TBI, getting them excited about the partnership and the incentives. So I can't go, I guess, too much into everything yet because it's not 100% officially announced. But Intelisys ScanSource, we're introducing them to some of the different OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers that we work with for the Chromebooks. To potentially have a distributor agreement with them. TBI has some exciting different partnerships that they have where they'll be able to enable the channel to resell Chromebooks to their customers. The next step really is to get those announcements out there. The goal for me is selecting, probably 4 or 5 channel partners of TBI and 4 or 5 of Intelisys, getting them enabled, start doing some account mapping and pipeline generation.
Awesome. So I know you can't really provide details, but obviously for any partner program, right? It's about the incentives and
Sure.
how you get partners
Yeah.
interested. So can you kind of high level talk about what types of incentives there are? Like how are you getting partners interested in this?
Sure. So it goes back to what were some of the problems that I see that the channel that the channel is kind of facing today as a as an agency. As ABC Telecom Company, it's just me out there dealing with customers, selling UCaaS, contact center, cybersecurity, data center, internet connectivity, MPLS, you name it. What would get me excited and what are maybe some of the issues that I'm facing on a day-to-day basis. And it comes down to 3 things that I've seen. I think loss of revenue when it comes to hardware, because nobody's buying physical phone devices anymore. I
They
used to
can't
have a
get them
phone.
anymore.
Yeah, I used to have, my wife made it, thought it was hilarious because I have Polycom phones. I have probably like a dozen Polycom phones in the trunk of my car and in like my closet, just for the years of working in
You
this
could open a
space.
museum.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, when are you going to get rid of these things? I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's the fact of the matter of everybody moving to the cloud and these soft phone applications, whether it's browser based or it's a downloaded app, nobody's really getting these physical devices anymore. And so that hardware revenue is going away. Also, being able to source new opportunities. It's a crowded space, right? There's a ton of channel partners out there, consultants, agencies, a ton of technology solutions brokers. Being able to source new opportunities, is becoming harder and harder because of the crowded space. And then, of course, dealing with direct CCaaS, provider direct sales teams. Vonage's direct sales team, 8x8. There's a lot of sometimes conflict there. So being able to source new opportunities, good opportunities, and close deals. And then deployment, realizing that revenue as fast as possible. I mean, these channel partners are paid on deals that are installed. So if your deal is taking 6-7 months to install, because of disparate legacy devices that can't handle this cloud-based contact center solution. It's not easy to deploy it remote to all these remote agents. You're not going to really realize that revenue fast enough. So those are the three issues that I found. Now, how did Chrome OS benefit and what are the incentives? So number one, you got to pay to play, right? So you got to get some type of financial incentive. So we're doing a very lucrative upfront spiff or upfront financial incentive for these channel partners to sell contact center as a service with Chromebooks. There's going to be some qualifiers, minimum of Chromebooks sold, maximum payout, things like that, but a very lucrative one-time, upfront for these channel partners to pair Chromebooks. I think the biggest and most exciting piece of this is introducing these channel partners to our corporate Chrome sales team. So corporate, sales team is our mid-market, sales group. So there's about 5 salespeople there that are that are focused on companies 500 employees to 3,000, and allowing them to network with these sales folks, lead exchange, referrals, because let's face it, they're really in there just to sell Chrome OS, Chromebooks, Chrome, devices. If they're coming across a customer that's having issues with their contact center deployed on Chrome, or they're on a legacy on-prem technology and they want to move to the cloud along with moving to the cloud for their operating system, this is a great opportunity for them to refer deals to the channel. So Google source leads is huge. And then lastly, as I mentioned earlier, these devices deploy much faster than any legacy Windows, Mac OS devices. So going with Chrome OS for the contact center will get your customer up and running much faster, and you'll be able to realize that revenue a lot faster as well.
Awesome. So one question that kind of came in the chat here, and I was actually going to ask the same thing. You already said there was, kind of outlined some of the challenges that you've encountered because you're building this program from scratch, right? And I've been in partnerships, my entire career, and been in situations where I've been building programs, and there's always like some bumps along the way. Can you kind of share any of the challenges that you've encountered and had to kind of pivot, or if that's, you've only been there 4 months, so maybe you haven't had that yet?
No, day one, I knew what the challenge was going to be because I've been in cloud software. I've been selling cloud software for the past 14 years, whether I like it or not, even though sometimes I was selling a Polycom phone along with it, but it was mostly, cloud-based software as a service. So that pivot to focusing on hardware is a struggle for some channel partners, for some consultants. They don't want to get into it. They're worried about having to have a warehouse with Chromebooks that's stocked up for their customers and things like that. So getting the channel and these partners focused in on hardware was probably the most difficult to kind of crack, to crack that code, to explain to them that it is important. But at the end of the day, we used to talk about the physical phone on your desk right here. The part of your discovery session was what kind of phone do you have on your desk? How does it work? Does it have a sidecar? How many buttons is it? Like a lot of different stuff.
Sidecar, God, I remember that term.
Yeah, and then it evolved from do you have an Avaya phone or a Nortel phone? Do you have Polycom phones or Yealink phones today? To do you even want a phone now? So we used to focus in on some of the hardware on the desktop, which was the physical phone. Now it's just shifting that focus of that device to your computer. Everybody needs a computer. Why not have a device that is optimized for the CCaaS solution that you're selling, and really be that trusted consultant? Because if you're just saying, "Oh yeah, deploy it on whatever device you have," that's not true. That doesn't work.
No.
So really focusing in on this device and making sure that it's fast enough, that it's optimized, that it's secure. Because a lot of the partners that I work with are working in healthcare. You're deploying these contact center solutions, these patient engagement solutions on a device that's not locked down and secure, like a Chromebook. You're opening up not just your customer to to ransomware attacks and and loss of security, but also those patients and those customers as well. So just focusing in on the laptop, the computer, and having those conversations has probably been the most difficult piece of this. But I think people are starting to get it now. We did an enablement session with one of my channel partners that I've worked with in Southern California a couple of weeks ago, and really opened their eyes to a lot of stuff. So I'm working on technical FAQs. I'm working on battle cards and stuff like that to really enable the channel to get it, and then also be able to clearly articulate it to their customers.
Awesome. So how do you, I know this is still a new program, so how do you see this program in the future? I mean, do you think that you'll open it up to, system integrators and veer away a little bit from the telecom channel, or where do you see the program going?
That's a great question. I mean, I really want to tackle the telecom channel first, get these two TSBs, Intelisys and TBI ramped up, ready to go. Just really scale them up to a point where I can potentially hire a few strategic partner managers to really just handle Intelisys and TBI, so that I can go and scale it with the others that are out there, because I think there's going to be some FOMO in the industry, fear of missing out for some folks that don't know what it means. But I think there's going to be some FOMO when it comes to some of these other master agencies, technology solution brokers. I think once they see the traction that Intelisys and TBI get, and the focus on Chrome OS and Chromebooks that's going to happen in the near future, I think the Telarises and Avants and Sandler and AppSmart and all those others out there will want to get on board too, and then that's where my focus is going to shift, is getting them on board, getting them ramped up, making sure that they can scale up, hire somebody to manage those relationships, and then focus on some of the other partners that are out there that we're not talking to.
Interesting. Well, I think we've got time to open this up for some questions. So those of you on the line, you can put the questions in the Q&A, and we'd be happy to answer those for you. And also, Jimmy, maybe while we're collecting those, if you don't mind, if you can share, if people want to get a hold of you and they have questions, how can they reach you to learn more about this?
Sure. You can hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm very active on there. Jimmy Riordan, Riordan. It's, I guess, here on the screen, so you can figure it out. And then my email, pretty simple. It's just Jimmy Riordan at Google. It's a very long email. When I first started, I joked around. It was Jimmy Riordan at noogler.google.com or something like that. When I first started, for the first month, and people were like, I don't want to type that. That's terrible. So I'm happy to have a regular Google account. And I'm based in Southern California, Los Angeles. So if you want to grab a coffee, if you're comfortable, obviously with COVID and everything, if you want to grab a coffee or lunch or something and talk more, I work out of the Venice office for Google, and I live in the Valley and Encino. So, but I travel around a lot. I feel like it's crazy. All of my channel partners are in Orange County, which is like such a pain for me to get to. So I'm down in Orange County a lot, needless to say, not so much in LA when I'm out traveling.
Awesome. Well, I don't see any questions coming in, so give everybody like one more minute to ask questions.
Well, how about I ask you a question, since
ask me a question. Go ahead.
You've been just clobbering me with questions all morning for me on my second coffee. No, but I mean, put your 8x8 hat on for a second. I mean, have you seen from an 8x8 perspective the benefits of Chrome, and is 8x8 excited about this partnership?
We're very excited about it, and I agree with you. It's a different story, right? And it just needs to be told in the right manner. I think I love what your counterpart Matt Clare said. He said, hey, it's not like we're asking anyone to do anything differently. Like, it's still 8x8 contact center. We're just asking you to think a little bit differently. And again, it's focusing on the fact that this can all run very simplistically on a Chromebook, and then going through the the pillars of why Chromebooks are a good solution for that environment. In fact, we're going to be, deploying some in our own support team. I don't think you can do this yet, so that we're going to be
Oh,
testing it out
awesome.
as well. So we're going to be like eating our own dog food here. So yeah, 100% in. I mean, the minute I heard about this program, I was super excited because it made complete sense to me. And I've, been a Google fan for, a very long time. And I agree. I saw the Chromebook adoption with education because all my kids had Chromebooks. So I think this is a great vehicle to get, Chromebooks into businesses.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I came on board, it was this idea of agent in a box, making it super easy to deploy these agents, as an IT director or even just a contact center admin. But also, talking to Christy Thomas, who's the director of CX solutions at Intelisys, she's calling it the bento box of
Yeah, I love that
for
term. That's a
contact
great
center,
term.
which is it's great. So it's pulling in, here's some 8x, go to Intelisys and build your bento box contact center. So you have your 8x8 contact center software. You can get the Chromebooks from Intelisys. You can get the peripherals, the headsets, the monitors, the video bar, the mouse, the keyboard, all that together at once, one-stop shop with Intelisys, which is super exciting. And one of the benefits that people say, other than like people are always asking about features. It's difficult to be like it's fast, it's secure, it's simple, but there's a lot of cool like features and functionality that are already differentiators for the contact center space with Chrome. One of which my who you met, Saj, he's our head of pre-sales, customer and partner engineering. Really smart guy, been wonderful to work with him. And we just actually
That's great.
yeah, we just hired. We're investing, like I said, a lot into this contact center space. This is a huge focus for us. So we have, Matt Clare, who's dealing with the different, CER, Chrome Enterprise Recommended Partners. But we also hired somebody underneath Saj, who's going to be contact center focused. Her name's Madhavi. She's super smart. She's been in contact center, I think, about as long as I have. So we're having a lot of investments into contact center. But one of the features that Saj was showing me the other day was these desk templates. So you basically can have all of these pre-built templates for your desktop. So I have my contact center desktop. So it's got my 8x8 contact center software. It's got my Salesforce up. It's got all the different tabs that I need already just ready to go. So I log into my contact center desktop and I'm ready to go. I just boot up and I sign in. And then when I'm done, I just sign out and I go to my personal desktop. And that has all my personal stuff, my Netflix, my photos.
That's awesome. It's like the profiles in Chrome, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I switch to maybe my non-agent working Chromebook. Or I mean, it's great for these contact center supervisors and admins that sometimes have to hop in as an agent. So I have my supervisor desktop or desk template. I have my admin desk template. I have my agent desk template. So if I need to hop in, I just move from my supervisor template to my agent template. I log in, and again, very fast, very simple.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, it's always great talking to you. Like I said, I'm really excited
Absolutely.
about the partnership. And I think that there's just, I love when we see, companies pivoting and building different partner ecosystems and like how that's done. I mean, that's why the CSA is a great association to kind of pick brains on that, right? Because it's like every partner ecosystem has started somewhere different and, kind of had a journey on its own. So I appreciate you spending the time with us today. And then everybody on the line, definitely, again, if you're not in the CSA, I encourage you to join. Just go to cloudsoftwareassociation.com. We're over 4,000, partnership leaders in the, cloud software space. So it's great organization. And again, I'm going to plug it one more time. Don't forget to register for the SaaS Connect conference, which is April 27th in San Francisco. And with that, I think I'll let everyone go. Again, thanks again, Jimmy. Great talking to you as always. And I know that with you at the helm, this is going to be a pretty amazing journey for Google and Chrome Enterprise Recommended.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you, everybody.